Firstly, I'd like to start talking about the US Supreme Court overturning the Roe versus Wade case, ending a constitutional right to abortion. So what is happening for us here and what can we do about it?
I want to say this. For change to occur, one has to drop, shall we say, in a disruptor. The system was already in collapse. The system was already polarizing, and it has to polarize for, shall we say, the energy that was tied into that to be released. So, shall we say, the conflict inside each being is brought to the surface. You understand? The land of the free is revealed never to have been that, but the land of the controlled. And shall we say, the issue is not, shall we call it the abortion or the law change, but the issue is the controls that have been applied for individuals to prosper on the, shall we call it, the backs of the whole. So individuals benefit while, shall we call them, the whole is not progressing. Now it is revealed. And it is testing the waters of a complete re-evaluation of all of these political nightmares. You understand, the Russian crisis challenges that style of control. The residential completion challenges that style of control. The United Kingdom that is not united and never has been united is collapsing, of course. The United States that has never been united is breaking apart, of course, as it must, because individuals have to find themselves and they have to answer to the greater God of all humanity. So it is all these conditions. You understand? Look at the breakdown in the United States. They have not wanted nor are ready to put into place the controls that are needed, but attempt to control those things that are not needed. And so endlessly they have more and more and more deaths by guns, more and more and more and more, and it will escalate, only escalate until there has been enough. Do you understand? So both of these conditions are the same. The courts want to control the abortion, but not the deaths by guns. That is because, shall we say, the united conditions are based on a set of circumstances that is long past. Now is a different era, a different epoch, and there is waking up. Does this answer the question?
Yeah. So what advice would you give those who are living in the United States and having to experience the frustration and the anger and against the people that are in power? I mean, what do they do about it?
Of course, there has to be enforcement of laws. You have to enforce, and when people unite, when there is a united front, then you will have, first of all, civil disobedience, and finally, the civil war that everyone wants. You understand? And that is where it stands.
So America is leading towards a civil war, in your opinion?
Of course, until they recognize the freedoms of others. And what is that war going to achieve? Certainly, the breakup of the false unity. Do you understand? And then the influence in the world becomes undermined. The difficulty is when you are in a world in which others take control. You understand, this is not just an issue for the citizens of that nation. It is a condition for the citizens of the planet. And so all over the world, challenges are brought to bear. The changing climate of everything. You understand, the physical climate is a reflection of the inner climate of consciousness. So it is attempting to break free of the past. So
the talking about this impending civil war, I know that you don't like predictions and timeframes, etc., but can you give us any guidance, and are we getting close to building up, or do we have to see more things break down?
I want to say this. While I say a civil war, but it is not necessary a civil war of violence. It is a civil war of conditions. You understand, how is it possible that those with totally different philosophies can stay together? You understand, it is an impending conflict, and you understand, what has the citizen power to do? I will tell you this. They have the power to buy a high-powered machine gun and put themselves in a roof and shoot indiscriminately at anybody because of the impending anger that is circulating in the field. Do you understand? It is not necessarily those with anger that are doing this, but the field is filled with it. Do you understand? You cannot separate one's inherent sense of powerlessness and those who are susceptible will take that to its extreme. Do you follow what I am saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying there will be a physical alignment of armies and so forth, but they are already in place. They are already filled with anger and disgust. So you understand, how is that? How is it possible for a resolution without a complete change of perspective?
Yeah.
And this is not, as I point out, not just a condition of the citizens of a single nation. It is a condition for the transformation of human consciousness. Everyone must wake up to the danger that they are bringing to bear.
Okay, thank you.
Do you understand? Even in your own country, there has arisen, shall we say, a movement of despair because everything is out of control because of conditions that are controlled by, shall we say, a wider base of community. Does this follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it is unification of the masses, arising in consciousness that puts the whole above one's individual benefits. Do you follow? Otherwise, everyone will feel the pain of that until it occurs. And that is in the field. It is not something that you can alter by certain behaviors or feelings that one can love another. It is in the field that is outside, that, shall we say, manages all of the individuals. So as it becomes more and more tainted, individuals take it upon themselves to take action.